Hello everyone. Welcome to today's topic, AI. Now, it's very concerning what we're seeing happening right now. AI is taking over art, tech, it's just taking over everything. And this is very concerning, and I kind of want to take a moment to do my little rant, because Grandpa's old, Grandpa's tired of watching things go, well, south, to say the least. And I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention as to why I'm amazed we have people that are liking AI as much as they are. So everyone, and I mean everyone, should be against AI right now. Firstly, we're going to talk about artists, because, well, recently I did a video about artists and how they need to approach content creators in a better way. Now, that video was not meant to attack or to belittle or to harm artists in any way, but I'm wanting to have this little discussion right now as a bit of a olive branch of sorts, because some artists probably are going to take that last video as a idea that I'm against artists, when I'm absolutely not. So first off, the first group that should be very upset about AI is art, obviously. People who are doing authentic, real art are being accused of using AI. They're having to defend their art more. You are seeing artists who are doing their real art get overshadowed by people who are using AI. You're seeing a whole bunch of art-related issues with AI. This is pretty big of an issue if you're someone that actually puts the time and effort in. I have a cousin who's a painter, and she does awesome art, but pretty soon you're going to see that sort of skill set just completely replaced by people who are just using AI to generate slop. It's going to look really good, but I mean, I consider it slop because the actual part of art that is so awesome is the creative process that artist has to go through. So that's the first group. Artists should be super, super irritated by it. And I know that artists are currently the most active group speaking out against AI, which is good. There's a reason that I started with them. They're the group that doesn't need any convincing. They're already on board. They're already set for it. And they are fighting it with everything that they can. They are flagging projects that are using AI art. They're doing all that stuff, which is awesome. I agree with it. But they are only one group. Second group that I think needs to really be against it, and I'm amazed hasn't been against it for longer, was the people who are all about, not economical, but environmental impacts. Sorry, I kind of blurred two groups for a moment. So the next group is the environmentalists, because this AI data center that wants to be created by Meta and Google and all these AI people, it takes a ton of electricity, and I mean a massive amount. It takes, I think it was the equivalent of like 750,000 homes worth of electricity to run one of these data centers. I think that's what I heard. But that is wild, how much electricity it takes. And we don't currently have that much extra electricity, honestly. We have a big limitation. There's a reason that Texas had its outages last year. There's a reason that California has outages all the time. There's a reason that these things are happening, and it's because the power grid, it was built decades ago. Maybe it's been updated here and there, but for the most part, it hasn't really been updated to handle all the new electric vehicles, all the new computers and tech, and all this new stuff hasn't really been put in place yet. Because of that, we're seeing massive power drains coming. And with that, we have environmental impacts that are negative. It takes more electricity, which means you have to generate more electricity. You have to generate more electricity means you're going to be having more pollution going out. It doesn't matter if you... Oh, I missed it. It doesn't matter if you have solar or wind. You don't have enough solar and wind. It's going to cause a negative impact. So I am amazed and truly astonished that we have not seen any sort of pushback from the environmental crowd, because it is going to have an environmental impact. The government recently started telling certain areas, at least, started saying that these data centers, these AI data centers, can actually make their own power plants. And I don't know what sort of regulations are going to be on those. I don't know what sort of environmental impacts those will have specifically. But if there's one thing I know, I don't trust Google. Personally, I don't trust Google with anything. I hate that Google has any of my data at all. So with that, the second group, being environmental advocates, should be quite upset about this. Should be. They're not yet, and I'm still not sure why, but they should be quite upset. Next up, environmental. The environmental folks should be quite upset about this due to the fact that... Oh, sorry, I said environmental again. Economic people should be quite upset about this right now. Because the economics of this, there's data centers going in my local state. Our local state is actually having to put forward a bill to say, hey, power companies, you cannot charge more to regular citizens than the AI data centers, because they take more information, they take more processing power, and they take more electricity. So no, you cannot just charge our regular citizenry more. That's not acceptable. So with that, our state is taking steps to actually improve and protect our citizens, but not every state's going to do that. This means that some states, you could see your power bill as a regular person who's not using more power go up per kilowatt hour, and you've done nothing to deserve it, because those companies are taking up more of the electricity for their data centers. This is gonna have a negative impact on everyone, because whenever electricity is more in demand, it's simple supply and demand. Super simple supply and demand. If you have more people needing more power, and you don't have the ability to produce more power, you charge more for the power. So, with that, everyone doing the economic side, all the regular old households of the world, should also be very, very upset about this right now, because you're going to have more economic impacts on you than you are imagining, thinking, or believing. And that's just the fact of the matter. Final group is now the group that is catching up with this right now, and that is everyone who enjoys tech. So we just saw the story about how one of the big three memory producers was pulling out of public sale of these. They will now only sell to data centers for AI. This is going to put a, I believe, 10% restriction on the memory we can get for building computers, for getting things for video game consoles, for getting things for laptops, and every single thing. Think about how much stuff in our world uses a computer now. We have computers in our cars, we have computers in our TVs, we have computers in our phones, we have computers in everything. We have integrated this technology into everything. So having this tech get suddenly limited in what can be accessed is going to increase the price of legitimately everything. You are going to see your TVs get more expensive. You're going to see your video game consoles get more expensive. You're going to see your your phones get more expensive, you're going to see just everything is going to go up in price. Every single thing. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not fear-mongering. This is the legitimate truth. Everything will go up in price. Because memory is in everything. And if you lose sources for it, supply goes down to public things. Because they didn't even say that they're going to keep selling to the manufacturers, so Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo and Samsung. None of them are still getting sales. They are only selling to the folks at AI companies. And that is going to be very bad for us because everything's going to have a limited supply, which means they're going to have to charge more. When they have to charge more, we have to pay more because they're not going to eat the costs. I don't know a single group of people that isn't affected by AI at this point in a negative fashion. Because even the people who are just enjoying the meme generation, enjoying the Yeti and Downsy, enjoying all the fun, jokey AI-created things and creating everything else, they're going to be impacted whenever their cost of living goes up. For my entire life, I'm in my mid-30s. For my entire life, I have been able to see the cost of TVs come down, the cost of video game consoles. They basically stayed the same, but, when you look at different things like computers, you've gotten way more processing power for your money, even though things have stayed about the same for expenses. You're going to see us get either less functionality for more expensive costs, or we're going to see just straight up more costs for the same. I think it's going to be very difficult for us to do everything, because you're going to see a restriction on processing power. You're going to see a restriction on just everything. Your RAM's going to go up. Your hard memories are going to go up. Your processing power is going to, or your processing units are going to go up. Everything will be more expensive because the AI centers, they need processors. They need coolant systems. They need everything that you need for a computer. They need also. And whenever they will pay 50% more than the company will get from the market, they're not going to sell to us anymore. And when we don't get that as a source of goods, it's just game over. You'll see video gaming go back to the days of this, the days of Turok and N64 and all these old games that look archaic because all of a sudden you're going to have half the RAM. You're going to have half the storage space on your computer. Activision is going to they will not have a choice anymore. They will have to cut down the size of Call of Duty because all of a sudden you're going to see people not able to get 100 gigs anymore. You're going to see people having issues with these things because the market's going to dry up. People are struggling to buy video games already. Now, put on top of that the idea that we have double the cost to get those games. Yeah, we're gonna have none of this. So, with that, just kind of a thought that I wanted to rant on. Took a quick 15 minutes to rant on it, But let me know what you guys think down below. I don't want to see all of us, and I mean all of us, left, right, center, black, white, poor, rich. I mean, actually, that's not true. The rich will actually they'll be the people that are able to still build PCs. They're going to be the people who are still able to do all these things. What? Okay. But they're going to be the ones that aren't impacted, because as is always the case, any time that prices go up, the people who already have the money and already have the access, those are the people who are able to keep doing what they've always done. It's the poverty-stricken that are hurt every single time that changes are made, every single time that impacts on the economy are pressured. Every single time. It's not the rich, it's the poor that get hurt. And right now we're seeing a lot more people who are struggling with poverty, people who are struggling to make ends meet, people who are struggling to feed their families and keep their jobs. And that's the other thing. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs whenever AI replaces these places. It's not good. AI is going to destroy the world without ever having to go Terminator. Through just simply greed of, well, large corporation type people. The Mark Zuckerbergs of the world will sacrifice you, me, and everyone else if it means getting them more money and more power. The only thing you should trust is what's good for everyone. Anything that can lower cost of living costs will be helpful to us as humanity. So, with that, I would highly, highly, highly suggest that you actually pull back on AI now. Because if you pull back on AI right now, then these companies might stop producing massive data centers. Because, hey, no one's using the AI right now. I mean, I know no one's going to listen to this. Everyone's going to just keep doing what they do. But there's only one way to turn the car around, and that's by stopping what you're doing. If we're accelerating towards the cliff edge, where tech is going to be completely stripped of its ability to work, you have to take your foot off the gas. That is first and foremost what we have to do. So please, share this, like and subscribe if you agree that we need to, as a whole, AI only is going to help the mega wealthy, because mega wealthy individuals aren't going to have issues buying the GPUs at quadruple the price. They're gonna have no issues with the extra cost for a video game console, if a video game console even exists anymore. Because if a console gets too expensive for normal people to buy it, then no one's gonna make a console. If no one makes a console, then there will be no console. Simple, straightforward, matter of fact, supply and demand economics. Good, old, hardcore economics. So, with that, I thank you guys for listening to Grandpa's Rant. I know I sound like an old grandpa, especially whenever I'm ranting against something with technology, but I am in software engineering. I see when things are beneficial and when things are going to harm everyone. And personally, I think that AI's best functionality is whenever it's doing computational analysis, not generative AI, which costs a lot more resources. So, if we can get rid of the generational AI that's making videos and art and dubbing over everything with that stupid, sloppy, that slop AI voice, if we can get around that, then we'll be all set. If we can get to where it's being used to specifically do the things like analysis of natural disasters, weather data, the things that it could really and should have always been limited to, that would be awesome. I don't want AI to completely disappear. I just want it to stop literally overtaking everything that makes society currently function. Because if you take away people's ability to have any sort of entertainment, you're going to have riots. You're going to have riots. You're going to have wars. You're going to have all sorts of things. Because whenever people get upset about what's happening, that's when they fight. That's when they get upset with each other. That's when there's issues. So, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I know I kind of said goodbye a minute ago, but then I had another point to make because I don't script this. I'm just having an honest heart-to-heart conversation with y'all on my thoughts of it. I'm not some expert. I'm in software, but I'm not an expert that knows everything. I'm giving my 2 cents on someone that understands economics to a certain degree and understands simply how things impact software. Because the impact on software and hardware go hand in hand. You won't have the ability to do a bunch of these things. So leave that comment down below. I'd love to see what you guys all think. And I will talk to you guys in the next video, in the next stream, whenever the next time that you guys catch me is. I will see you then. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.